good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sembela Maths Club that I'll be referring to as TMC, a club that assists learners to uncover the secrets that are hidden in the mysteries of mathematics. I always say it, guys. Everything in this life is hidden in the secrets of what? Of mathematics. It is hidden in the mysteries of mathematics. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We are going to be uncovering those beautiful secrets that are hidden in the mysteries of mathematics. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be doing a topic called Pythagoras Theorem. I know you guys are saying from whenever you are, nah man, Pythagoras Theorem, piece of cake. Guys, you'll be very surprised. It's small things like Pythagoras Theorem that actually throws people off the track. The problem is that people always think that they'll understand this kind of concept, and then when it comes to actually doing things that has to do with these concepts, they actually find out that I don't understand it, and then you end up not being able to continue with some other topics, more extensive topics that are built on Pythagoras theorem. For example, trigonometry. Trigonometry is built on Pythagoras theorem, and also geometry is also built on Pythagoras theorem. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mqondis Macaba, and I'll be working with you on this journey of uncovering this. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, I would like to give you some wise words. And then they are coming from a gentleman called Paul Halmos, and he says the following: the only way to understand mathematics is to do mathematics. Ladies and gentlemen, I agree with this gentleman. There is only one way of understanding mathematics, is to do it. Do it, try it, things will go wrong, sort it out, talk to your friends, talk to someone else. Eventually things will come well, things will come right, guys. So just keep doing it. Just do mathematics. The only way to understand mathematics is to do mathematics, quote unquote, by Paul Helmos. So ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this session, you should be able to answer the following questions. There are 4 of them. Question number 1, where do we use Pythagoras theorem? Question number 2, what is Pythagoras theorem? Question number 3, what does Pythagoras theorem say? Question number 4, how to use Pythagoras theorem to solve problems. Now, where do we use Pythagoras theorem? Pythagoras theorem is used in a right angle triangle like this one, when you are looking for a side that is missing, where in a right angle triangle where you are given 2 sides, and then there's one side that is missing, which is the third side, and then you're looking for it. Something that looks like this. You've got this side is given, you've got this side is given, you are looking for this, and then this is a right angle triangle. So in those particular cases, you use what? You use Pythagoras theorem. All right. Now, what is Pythagoras theorem? Because I'm saying we are using Pythagoras theorem, but what is that? Ladies and gentlemen, Pythagoras theorem is a rule that helps us to find third sides when we are looking for that third side, and then we are given 2 other sides. All right. So it's a rule that helps us to find the third side when we are given 2 sides of the right angled triangle. All right. Now, what does Pythagoras theorem say? Pythagoras theorem says that in a right angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse side is equal to the sum of the squares of the other 2 sides. So here is the hypotenuse side, and then here are 2 other sides. So the square of this side is equal to a square of this plus the square of this, and then mathematically speaking, you've got a squared plus b squared, which is equal to c squared, and that is Pythagoras theorem. That's what it says. Now, guys, you should be able to state this theorem as it is, because that can come out on your exams. It's very, very important. All right, now let's explain Pythagoras theorem in detail. Let's explain it and see what are the nitty-gritties of it, and let's see. But before that, let's look at the theorem. A theorem is a statement that explains how things are related. So you will have things in the theorem and then those things will be related somehow. Now, a theorem comes in and is able to bring those things together and explains how those things are related. All right. For example, in the Pythagoras theorem, you've got A, B, and C in a right angle triangle. They are related somehow, and then Pythagoras theorems will explain how these A, B, and C, these sides are related. Now let's see. Now we can see that these sides are related by a formula, which is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, where c is the hypotenuse side, and then you've got a and b, which is the other two sides of that triangle that we'll be looking at. Now, what is a hypotenuse side, guys? A hypotenuse side is along the side of a triangle. That's a loose way of looking at it, but more formally, it is a side that is opposite the angle that is 90 degrees. Great. Now, how do we use Pythagoras to solve problems? Now let's get into this. We're dealing with concept now. Let's actually use Pythagoras to solve these problems. All right, here's a question where we are supposed to determine C, which is this. This is missing. And then we are given this side, we are given also this side, and this is a right angle triangle. So in those cases, what do we use? We use Pythagoras theorem. And then here's an equation of Pythagoras theorem. And then so what we're going to do, we are going to substitute A and B, which we are given, and then we'll end up with something like this. Now A is 4, so you're gonna put 4 here, and then B is 3, you're gonna put 3 here. So we've got c squared, which is equal to 4 squared plus 3 squared, and that is none other than 4 squared is equal to 16, and then 3 squared is equal to 9. So we're going to have 16 plus 9. That will give you 25. And ladies and gentlemen, please note what we are getting here is not c, is c squared. C squared is equal to 25. But we are not looking for c squared. We are looking for what? We are looking for c. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to put square root both sides, a square root here, and then a square root here, and then we end up with something like c, which is equal to 5 meters. Right. Now, let's go on. Now, I want to see whether you did understand what we did earlier. So here's your 10. Here's a problem. Now, this problem, you are going to do it for yourself, and then you can then check if you are right using the same steps that you did in the previous problem. Okay, now let's go on and look at Pythagoras a little bit deeper. Now, Pythagoras can appear in different forms. Now, this is one of another forms in which it can appear. Now, let's look at it. Here, we are supposed to determine B. So, B is this side that is missing. We are given this side now and this side. Remember, earlier, we did not have this side. But now we do have this side. It's now this side that we do not have. Now, how do we go about solving this? Okay, let's look at what we have. We have a right angle triangle. Here is a 90-degree angle. And then we've got two sides that are given, this one and this one. And then we are looking for this one. So what works? Aha, it's Pythagoras theorem. So we are going to use Pythagoras theorem. And guys, please, when you use Pythagoras theorem, do say there is a mark for a formula, there is a mark for a reason. It is a mark to say that I'm saying this because of a rule, and then that rule is Pythagoras theorem. And then so guys, you can see here c squared is a substitute formula because my formula is like that. It's c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. But now I am looking for b, so I will take something that has b and make it a substitute formula. All right, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take this b to this side, and then this side I will remain with c, and then I will take this a to this side, and then I'm going to have c squared minus a squared. And then eventually at the end, I will have b squared, which is equal to c squared minus a squared. Because if I take this a to this side, then because there was a positive sign here, then it will have what? A negative sign. And then after that, I will substitute. And then after substituting, I will then simplify. 5 squared is 25, and then 4 squared is 16. So 25 minus 16 is equal to what? Is equal to 9, and then b is equal to 3 meters. All right. And then guys, another thing that is very important, please make sure that if the units are given, for example, in this case, you are given that it's 5 meter and then here is 4 meter, then in your answer, you must also have meter. You must have the unit that was given here. So sometimes they don't give you units, they just give you numbers. Like for example, they will say 4 here and then they will say 5 here without a unit. Now, in those cases, when you write here, you will write your answer, but now you must say unit. Okay, there is no unit, you must just say unit just to acknowledge, just to show them that I know that I'm supposed to put a unit here. However, I was not given any unit. So I'm going to put what? I'm going to put 3 units. But this time around, in this particular case, we're given units, which is meters in this case. So there is no problem. We can just put meters as they are. But I'm just talking about a case where there are no units. Right. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how you go about unraveling the problems in Pythagoras theorem. All right. Now your turn. Now I want you to do this problem. Right. I want you to do this problem and determine the value determine the value of A. Okay, they say B here. No, it's not supposed to be B. It's supposed to be A. So determine the value of A. Let me change it here. Aha, there we go. Let's see. If we don't like something, what do? We change it. Yeah, guys, the same thing applies with our behavior as well. If we don't want our behavior, we must change it. Okay, so here we are looking for A, not B, because we are given B. We are looking for A. There we go. So we are going to look for A here using the same rules that we've been using over and over, and then we're going to see where we end up with. All right, now let's conclude, guys. Now, when you conclude, we're going to conclude by going a little bit back and look at what we're supposed to achieve and see if we're able to achieve our objectives or we're able to achieve things that we wanted to achieve. Now, what is it that we're supposed to achieve? We're supposed to answer questions. Question number 1, where do we use Pythagoras theorem? And then we now know that we use Pythagoras theorem when you've got a right angle triangle and we are given 2 sides, and then we are looking for the other side. And then what is Pythagoras theorem? We know that the Pythagoras theorem is a theorem that you use in a right angle triangle when you are looking for a third side and you are given other 2 sides. We know that. So this objective was met. And then the second last one, number 3, what does Pythagoras theorem says? And then we know that Pythagoras theorem says that in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse side is equal to the sum of the square of the other 2 sides. So we are fine here. We can be able to answer this question. And then lastly, how do you use Pythagoras theorem to solve problems? All right, and then we have seen in different occasions how Pythagoras get to be used to solve problems. So we were able to see that. So that means that this objective was met. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much. And I would also ask you to subscribe to this channel so that if there are such videos that needs to if there are videos like this that get to be uploaded, you will be notified. So subscribe and then click the notification button down there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and have a lovely day and goodbye.